My dear Americans, please remember the whole world is suffering with you. And slowly but surely, the whole world has had enough of this circus show. If it wouldn't be so sad, it would be funny. But in fact, it isn't. And here is what me and my friends have got to say. Listen up.
Really? This shitty situation doesn't just affect you Americans alone. No, it affects all of us, the whole world. And slowly but surely, the world has had enough. We are tired of watching this circus show over and over again. We are tired of the cheap lies, the unheard of behavior, and the abuse of power over the weak and not so powerful people. And that's probably one of the most polite ways to describe the current situation. In fact, countless people around the globe are suffering. Every day, people around the globe are dying, every day. And all because of this misguided administration, and its mentally disabled, semi-ape-like leader. This in fact is intolerable, and must stop immediately. I believe everyone on this planet who thinks with their head would agree. Don't till you listen to the people. A saying among software engineers goes, the quieter you become, the more you're able to hear. Your government should think about that.
We're really in a very dangerous place. And the danger is not just on our national stage. You know, that's pretty screwed up. But the international stage takes it to a whole nother level. Because
the final act of this G20 summit, the first on African soil, was world leaders joking and laughing at the absence of President Donald Trump. And a voice can be heard saying, "Where is the United States?" And he says, "They're not here." And they all laugh about it as if it's an inside joke.
Now Sleepy Joe would say,
Rwanda, I know, will not be found wanting.
Showing Trump with his eyes closed, sparking outrage across social media platforms. A post on X, formerly known Twitter, stated Trump sleeping at the Pope's funeral, an embarrassment as always.
"You'll never see me sleeping in front of camera."
Make an apology here to us. Because he didn't congratulate us on the peace deal that President Trump made between Albania and Azerbaijan.
I'm sorry for that.
Yeah. So, and he worked very hard. He worked very hard. We had 500.
To think that we settled Azerbaijan and Albania as an example. It was going on for years. It was never going to be settled.
This was the second state visit, and that's the first, and maybe that's going to be the last time. I hope it is, actually. But
Now, all I know about magnets is this. Give me a glass of water. Let me drop it on the magnets. That's the end of the magnets.
At the White House on Wednesday, Donald Trump praised the president of Liberia for his, quote, good English, even though English is the official language of Liberia.
we just want to thank you so much for this opportunity.
Well, thank you. And such good English, such beautiful. Where did you learn to speak so beautifully? Where were you educated? Where?
Yes, sir.
In Liberia.
Yes, sir.
Well, that's very interesting.
Trump was totally blown away by this guy speaking his national language. Where'd you learn to speak English? Like what? Liberia? Oh, we call them libraries.
And on an hour-by-hour, day-by-day basis, the President of the United States has chosen to throw our economy into turmoil. Global markets are teetering on the brink of collapse. Businesses across this country and here in Minnesota are already laying off employees by the thousands. Working people are paying more for basic goods. When the president took office 3 months ago, there was no reason to throw a wrench in the works and destroy decades of work. But if you listen to anything that comes out of his mouth, one thing has become clear. He's just plain confused about how the world really works for working people. We're talking about a guy that slapped a 10% tariff on an island populated only by penguins. It'd be funny as hell if it wasn't true and stupid. It makes no sense to anyone. That isn't servant leadership. It's not any kind of leadership. It's small, it's weak, and it's petty. It takes the awesome power of the federal government and turns it into a crude weapon, wielded by a man who wants to be king.
I'm telling you, these countries are calling us up, kissing my ass.
The president said, I've made 200 deals.
Bullshit. Here's how you know. 200 deals? There's only like 180 countries.
We're going to get the drug prices down, not 30 or 40%, which would be great, not 50 or 60, no. We're going to get them down 1,000%, 600%, numbers that are not even thought to be achievable.
Because that's not how percentages work. Just so you understand, lowering drug prices 100% means it's free. Lowering it past that means they're going to give you money.
So let's give him something easier. Donald, tell us what the Declaration of Independence is. And remember, this is the document in which we declared independence.
Of course, you have the Declaration of Independence.
What does it mean to you?
Well, it means exactly what it says. It's a declaration. It's a declaration of unity and love and respect, and it means a lot. And it's something very special to our country.
Look at Terry Moran's face. He looks like a teacher about to call the school psychologist. But of course he'd make that face. Trump said that the Declaration of Independence meant unity. Unity is the opposite of independence. How did Trump find the one time that unity and love is the wrong answer?
People are worried, even some people who voted for you saying, I didn't sign up for this. So how do you answer those concerns?
Well, they did sign up for it. I said all these things during my campaign. I said, you're going to have a transition period.
Really? That's what Trump said?
When I win, I will immediately bring prices down starting on day one.
Was when it turned to Trump's deportation of Kilmar Garcia, who Trump says doesn't need due process because anyone can tell that Garcia is in the gang MS-13 just by looking at his tattoos.
There's a dispute.
Well, wait a minute. He had MS-13 on his knuckles tattoo.
Oh, he had some tattoos that are interpreted that way. But let's move on.
Okay. Let me just explain what's going on here. Garcia has tattoos on his hand, and someone labeled a photo of them trying to prove that they're actually a code. The problem is, Trump thinks that the labels are part of the tattoo.
Let's move on.
Wait a minute. Hey, Terry.
He did not have the letter MS-13.
It says MS-13.
That was Photoshop.
Do you want me to show you the picture?
I saw the picture.
And you think it was Photoshop?
I want to turn to Ukraine.
No,
I want to get to Ukraine.
And what is so crazy is that Terry Moran kept trying to change topics, but Trump wouldn't let him. I have never seen an interview where a reporter catches a politician in a gotcha, and the politician is the one who says, stop trying to move on. I am not done embarrassing myself.
Why don't you just say, yes, he does, and, go on to something else?
It's contested. Ukraine.
Why don't you just say I'm right? Up is down, left is right, Santa's real. And that is Trump in a nutshell. I can't prove the insane things I believe, so just go along with them. Don't believe your eyes, believe the Photoshop.
All right, so here's one of the biggest Republican lies ever told.
They are allowing an abortion up to and until and after the baby's born, which is insane.
An abortion after the baby's born?
Yeah, that's what the Democrats did. And
how do you abort after the baby's been born?
It's called murder.
So they're pro-murder after postpartum murder?
Well, that's what caused all this.
Are you stupid? Are you a stupid person?
I know that they have supported abortion up to the last minute before and after birth.
They are for abortion right up until birth and after.
Kamala Harris supports abortion to the very last second.
Where are these abortions being carried out up until the moment of birth? I keep hearing Republican politicians talking about that, and I mean, that's infanticide. I don't know where this is going on.
It must be remembered that the Democrats are the radical ones. They support abortion up to and even beyond the 9th month, and even execution after birth. The Democrat Party, who believe in abortion on demand in the 9th month of pregnancy, and even executing babies after birth.
So Republicans tell these lies mainly to gain manufactured consent.
Is it possible that Trump's whole bullshit facade is crumbling? I mean, right now, all he can do is distract from one lie with what is clearly another lie.
All I want for people to recognize a great job that I've done on pricing, on affordability.
What planet do you live on? Great job on affordability. My Taco Bell order is now $72.
You know, these files were made up by Comey. They were made up by Obama. They were made up by the Biden.
According to Trump, all the top Democrats got together and said, let's create some fake files that destroy Trump's political career. They don't ever use them. They let Trump get elected. Don't use them. Let Trump get elected again. Still don't use them. And then once he's the president, hope he releases the files without ever looking at them.
You've called women you don't like fat pigs, dogs, slobs, and disgusting animals. Your Twitter account...
Only Rosie O'Donnell.
She's still very beautiful. I moved on her, actually. You know, she was down in Palm Beach. I moved on her, and I failed. I'll admit it.
Whoa.
I did try and fuck her. She was married.
Huge news, Sarah.
I moved on her like a bitch, but I couldn't get there. And she was married. And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything.
Whatever you want.
Grab them by the pussy. You can do anything. It's always good if you don't fall out of the bus. Like Ford, Gerald Ford, remember?
Down below. Pull the hem.
Hello, how are you? Hi.
True of stars that they can grab women by the...
Well, that's if you look over the last million years, I guess that's been largely true. Not always, but largely true. Unfortunately or fortunately.
And you consider yourself to be a star?
I think you can say that. Yeah. She's accusing me of rape. And you know it's not true too. You're a disgrace. But she's accusing me, and so are you. And it never took place. She's not my type, and that's 100% true. She's not my type. There's this ridiculous situation that we're doing right. It's a big fat hoax. She's a liar, and she's a sick person, in my opinion. Really sick. Something wrong with her.
Let me ask, if I may ask one other question, Mr. President, if I may ask one other question, are you worried?
That's enough. That's enough.
Mr. President,
that's enough.
I was going to ask one of the other folks.
That's enough.
Pardon me, ma'am. Mr. President,
that's enough.
Mr. President, I had one other question, if I may ask, on the...
Do you stand by that claim of calling Tim Walz retarded?
Yeah, I think there's something wrong with him. I took a cognitive test and I aced it. I got a perfect mark, which you would be incapable of doing. Goodbye, everybody.
Thank
you too.
Thank you, Mr. President. National Guardsmen.
Yeah, the people that shouldn't be in our country, that's right.
So you announced that asylum.
And that includes Somalians and it includes plenty of others.
Did you just Somalia, Afghanistan? He did to Somalia and Afghanistan exactly what he did to the reporters on the plane. You're banned from this country because of one terrible thing that one of you people did. You too!
Are you stupid? Are you a stupid person?
And over the weekend, Trump announced he was deporting hundreds of these suspected Venezuelan gang members all the way back to El Salvador. So, close enough. And of course, these suspected gang members would be afforded a rigorous legal procedure, including a trial, the presentation of evidence, and all the rights of due process. I'm just with you.
It's not the same.
He got reports.
Feels like the Bronx. Okay. Don't have licenses. And then over.
Oh, so the people.
The only French person here.
It's me only.
There's no more. No more.
No French here.
He says he is the only French person left here.
It's true, we have a problem with migration today. More precisely, with uncontrolled migration, which unsettles many people. But before we point the finger at the migrants, we should pause for a moment. If we're honest, we quickly realize that we created this situation to a large extent ourselves. We all feed a system that has been telling us for decades that only growth counts. I'm talking about capitalism. Capitalism, a system that drives us to become faster, more efficient, more profitable every year, no matter the cost. But we live in a finite planet, in a world with limits. We only have this one Earth, and it's been bearing the burden of our insatiable growth for far too long. And while we live in prosperity here, industrialized nations ruthlessly exploit developing countries. We take their raw materials, we take advantage of their political crisis, we squeeze every last dollar out of them, and then we're surprised when people flee. This imbalance, this injustice, has been building for decades. Now the wheels are turning, and we're feeling the consequences. Another problem is our perpetual focus on treating the symptoms. We put out fires instead of extinguishing the sparks. We're going in circles like on a Mobius strip, which deludes us in thinking we're making progress, even though we'll always end up back where we started. And the bitter truth is, this behavior is actually rewarded in capitalism. The most unscrupulous, the most ruthless rise to the top, while those who want to act fairly are often left behind. A system that rewards the wrong people eventually becomes an arsonist itself. But back to migration. If we truly want to change something, then we must ensure that people have no reason to leave their homes in the first place. Every person, regardless of where they born, has a right to a life worth living, to safety, dignity, and opportunities. No one leaves their home, their families, their language, their memories voluntarily. Migration is often an act of desperation, not of choice. Once we understand this, we also realize that the solution lies not in building walls, but eliminating the root causes. Only then we can create a world where people can stay because they want, not because they have to.
Ultimately, the only long-term solution to the migration crisis is to help people build more hopeful futures in their home countries. Make their countries great again.
Welcome back. While trade is a major policy issue for the Trump administration, it might seem confusing as to who pays for newly implemented tariffs. Tonight, one expert is weighing in on what tariffs are and who will likely feel the brunt of it. Fox's Christina Coleman has more.
New tariffs from President Donald Trump are reshaping the U.S. trade policy. It's sparking a trade war with China, Canada, Mexico, and European nations.
Tariff is an import tax, a tax on consumption, because imports make up a pretty large share of U.S. goods.
While tariffs can hurt foreign countries by making their products harder to sell in the U.S., experts say American consumers and businesses could be hit the hardest. President Trump is expected to reveal reciprocal tariffs on additional U.S. trading partners on April 2nd.
When the product lands in the United States in a port, it sits in a warehouse until somebody pays the government $40. And the entity that has to pay that $40 is the importer, or, if that's Walmart or somebody else. And then they have to decide whether they're going to mark that $40 up, and almost always they do.
Some business owners fear prices of everyday items, from beer to maple syrup, could skyrocket if high tariffs continue.
That 25% increase on the tariff will simply just get passed along to us and get basically built upon, and probably end up being much larger than that as an ultimate cost to our beer.
While some brace themselves for the worst, others, like this wine grape grower in California, say they're hopeful the tariffs will have a positive impact on their industry.
What he's trying to do, in my opinion, is equal that playing field by really charging
the same tariffs that we're charged when our wine goes into those other countries.
The Trump administration says tariffs will help pay off the nation's large debt, create American factory jobs, and lower food prices.
Are you stupid? Are you a stupid person?
I'll tell you that I just stood in line and shook about 150 hands, and the king knew every single person and every single company, and some of them had bad names like XYZ-Q3, and he knew every one of them, or at least I think he did, because nobody was complaining. I was very impressed with that. But I just want to say that His Majesty has also raised a remarkable son in His Royal Highness Prince of Wales. Really amazing. We've gotten to know you, and I think you're going to have an unbelievable success in the future. Melania and I are delighted to visit again with Prince William. And
Mr. President, this is your prize. This is your Peace Prize. There is also a beautiful medal for you that you can wear everywhere you want to go.
Right now.
Okay, let me hold. Fantastic. Excellent.
This is truly one of the great honors of my life. And beyond awards, John and I were discussing this. We saved millions and millions of lives. So many different wars that we're able to end, in some cases, a little bit before they started.
Putting a made-up medal around your neck and bragging about it is like masturbating and telling your friends you got laid this weekend. It is really... Look at his face when they show him the medal. He does this... And then he does this cringy little move where he kind of yoinks it out of the box, like the Grinch stealing the star of the...
Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because
I'm
you're in no
answering on
position
this
to
question.
dictate that.
That's
Remember
exactly
this.
what I'm not
You're
dictating.
in no position to dictate what we're going to feel.
You
We're going to feel very
you will
good.
Feel influenced.
We're going to feel very
I'm
good and
telling
very
you,
strong.
You will feel influenced.
You're right now not in a very good position. You've allowed
From the
yourself
very-
to be in a
from
very
the
bad
very
position,
beginning
and he
of the
happens
war.
to be right about
From the very beginning of the war.
You're not in a...
We've been following the case of Kilmar Abrego Garcia, undocumented migrant from El Salvador, married an American woman, has a kid, living the American dream, until the Trump administration sent him to an El Salvadorian mega prison by, and I'm quoting the Justice Department here, if I may, is an administrative error. If only there was a convenient and timely way that the prisoner could be brought back to the United States that wouldn't really inconvenience either nation.
President Bukele at the moment flying from El Salvador to Washington, D.C.
What? Saints be praised! Bukele can just give Garcia a ride. But sadly, Bukele arrived at the White House with just the Miami club promoter clothes on his back and a pocket full of excuses.
Can President Bukele weigh in on this? Do you plan to return him?
How can I smuggle a terrorist into the United States? I don't have the power to return him to the United States.
You know, the thing they're enjoying this. Like the two of them. Our president, their president, well, okay, I guess we'll just have to let him rot in a prison even though he didn't deserve to be there. The only thing that seems to upset Trump about the entire situation is having to answer a perfectly reasonable question from Caitlin Collins about it.
You said that if the Supreme Court said someone needed to be returned, that you would abide by that. You said that on Air Force One just a few days ago. And they said that it must be facilitated.
Why don't you just say, isn't it wonderful that we're keeping criminals out of our country? Why can't you just say that? Why do you go over and over? And that's why nobody watches you anymore.
Nag, nag, nag. You sound just like the Supreme Court.
My second question for President Zelensky. No. Why don't you wear a suit? Why don't you wear a suit? You're the highest level in this country's office and you refuse to wear a suit, just want to see if you, do you own a suit?
Yeah, problems.
A lot of Americans have problems with you not
Really?
respecting.
I don't have such. I will wear costume after this war will finish. Yes, maybe maybe something like yours. Yes, maybe something better. I don't know. We will see. Maybe something cheaper than yeah. Thank you.
We had a meeting, and I say, why is it we only take people from hole countries, right? Why can't we have some people from Norway, Sweden, just a few? Let us have a few.
If they can't love our country, we don't want them.
But how do you measure that? What, if they stand at the border on a scale of to Can you give us a more specific idea of which groups would pass your muster?
I love the Irish special people.
We love the Italians.
Donald Trump's defended wanting immigrants from, quote, nice countries like Denmark and Switzerland.
Hold your horses, dumbass. Listen up. I'm Swiss, and we Swiss people would at the moment never ever consider to come to your country. And this is because of you, your administration, and your bidding.
How you can come to the conclusion right now that diversity had something to do with this crash?
Because I have common sense.
There you go. No. There you go. There you go. He has common sense. So let's spin the big wheel of blame to see which minorities are responsible for this crash.
They include hearing, vision, missing extremities, partial paralysis, complete paralysis, epilepsy, and dwarfism.
Dwarfism? I just want to say that people with dwarfism are just like everyone else. In fact, their penises are normal size. Which means proportionally they're huge. So in a way you could say that I'm the one looking up to them.
I win.
The election is rigged. Tear down the barrier. This is actually happening.
We did win this election.
You are not, you burgling
We will stop the steal. We're gonna walk down to the Capitol.
And we're probably not going to be cheering so much for some of them.
He's a pedophile!
Let's have trial by combat.
Hold the doors of the Capitol. I need court support.
John Kelly argues Donald Trump had admiration for dictators and spoke of Adolf Hitler as someone who did, quote, some good things.
This is a window into who Donald Trump really is. And in a second term, people like John Kelly would not be there to be the guardrails.
If there was ever a red line, he has stepped across it.
The whole world is making fun of them, but in fact, it is not funny at all. It's really sad, and it makes you want to cry, because people are suffering every day, people are dying every day, for nothing, for what? Just to satisfy some jerks. But who am I to judge us, to judge you, to judge the world? I'm pretty much the same. With this video, I also made fun of them. We have to get serious, we have to get down to the problem and solve it.
Gold Card is here today. For individuals, the price is $1 million. For corporations, it's $5 million to sponsor people and make them citizens. They've taken the Statue of Liberty and replaced the plaque with no shirt, no soul, $1 million minimum. Even the mainstream media is finally noticing that Trump won't stop bragging about his cognitive exams like they're Oscars. He brags that he aced it twice, that he got a perfect mark, that very few people can answer those questions, and that he's taken the test 3, no 4, no maybe 3 times, and got everything right every time. Here's the thing, that test is an early screen for dementia. No one normal takes it for fun. No one normal takes it 4 times. And no one normal forgets how many times they've taken it while bragging about how sharp their memory is. When you can't remember how many dementia screenings you've had, that's not a flex, that's a red flag.
Are you stupid? Are you a stupid person?
The oil that has been seized. The United States seized 1.9 million barrels of oil on December 10th.
We're going to keep it. We'll keep it.
Where's it? Are we going to sell it or put it in the strategic oil?
Maybe we'll sell it. Maybe we'll keep it. Maybe we'll use it in the strategic reserves. We're keeping the ships also.
Trump says U.S. is pursuing third oil tanker linked to Venezuela. The U.S. Coast Guard is still pursuing a vessel in international waters.
So far killed at least 105 people in 29 boat strikes.
We are going to run the country until such time as we can do a safe, proper, and judicious transition. And it has to be judicious. We want peace, liberty, and justice for the great people of Venezuela. We're going to have our very large United States oil companies, the biggest anywhere in the world, go in, spend billions of dollars, fix the badly broken infrastructure, the oil infrastructure.
Donald Trump told his supporters that Democrats would their future tariff rebate checks and give them to if they didn't donate to him within an hour. A screenshot of the desperate email sent out Monday and posted by Midas Touch shows Trump's fundraising team at his Never Surrender Political Action Committee using a high-pressure pitch built around alarmist language.
President Trump rolled out the red carpet for Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman.
Your Royal Highness, the U.S. intelligence concluded that you orchestrated the brutal murder of a journalist.
You're mentioning somebody that was extremely controversial. A lot of people didn't like that gentleman that you're talking about. Whether you like him or didn't like him, things happen, but he knew nothing about it, and we can leave it at that. You don't have to embarrass our guest by asking a question like that. You could even ask that same exact question nicely. You're all psyched up. Somebody psychs you over at ABC. You're going to psych it. You're a terrible person and a terrible reporter.
Would they have killed you to ask MBS about the murder nicely? Just a little, excuse me, Crown Prince, will you be so kind as to stop murdering my colleagues? Pretty please. Please.
Chris, what Secretary Hegseth said is that these strikes targeted 4 boats in the Eastern Pacific, killing 13 people. That brings the total of people killed in these strikes, both in the Caribbean and the Pacific, up to 57. Drug boats describe the people on them as narco-terrorists, but has not provided any kind of proof whatsoever to support that. Now, I'm here in Bogota, Colombia. I've been getting some of the reactions to what's been happening, because another key thing here, Chris, is that over the weekend, Senator Lindsey Graham said that Donald Trump had spoken to him and told him that there were likely to be ground strikes, missile strikes on land, not only in Venezuela, American countries, and he needs to keep taking the fight to Donald Trump as energetically as possible. Just shock. The idea that people here would have to be bracing for the possibility of missile strikes from the U.S. on Colombian soil is very close to inconceivable and quite disturbing, to say the least, and frightening.
The United States just attacked Venezuela's capital, hitting military facilities in the country. President Trump ordered this operation. There were multiple explosions in Caracas starting at around 2 a.m. local time. You can see the video here.
CBS News has also learned from sources that the president gave the U.S. military the green light to conduct land strikes in Venezuela days before the actual operation.
This would be an unlawful invasion by the United States. Donald Trump did not get authorization by Congress to engage in this war.
Mira esa mierda, explotaron allá toda esa mierda, porque tú no estás explotando.
Mierda, marico, se prendió el peo en esta mierda, ¿oyó?
also have a message tonight for the incredible people of Greenland. We strongly support your right to determine your own future. And if you choose, we welcome you into the United States of America. We need Greenland for national security and even international security, and we're working with everybody involved to try and get it. But we need it really for international world security. And I think we're going to get it. One way or the other, we're going to get it. We will keep you safe. We will make you rich, and together we will take Greenland to heights like you have never thought possible before. It's a very small population, but very, very large piece of land and very, very important for military security. It's the greatest con job ever perpetrated on the world, in my opinion.
It's an industrial revolution era power source, and Donald Trump wants it to power the AI revolution.
Morning, we traveled to coal country, what miners proudly told us was also Trump country, just as the Trump administration promises a coal comeback, but is halting some health programs for miners.
And these 8 retired miners, all who say they have black lung disease, and most of whom voted for the president, now with a plea for help.
There is no block of coal worth any man's life or woman's.
He believes coal is what's needed to feed the energy-hungry data centers used by AI platforms, a demand that's predicted to skyrocket in the near future. Over the past 25 years, coal-fired plants' share of electricity generation in the US dropped from 50% to 16%. In parallel, coal production has been in steady decline. Trump is determined to reverse those trends, but at what cost?
Vital free X-rays and protections for sick miners now abruptly halted.
This guy is 30 years old. This guy's already passed away. If you had President Trump sitting here, what would you say to him?
You know, I would say that I understand cutting waste in government, but this is not something to cut. This is essential for the health and well-being of the people that helped elect you.
Trump calls it beautiful, clean coal, but that's a huge misnomer. When burned, coal produces more greenhouse gases than any other fossil fuel and releases dangerous particulate pollution into the air. Public health researchers found that pollution from coal-fired plants killed almost 500,000 people in the US in the first 2 decades of this century.
I've been right about everything. And I'm telling you that if you don't get away from the green energy scam, your country is going to fail.
It's hard to say that it's a scam when 20%, more than 20% of our energy generation in 2023 here in the United States came from renewable energy. I think he also likes to say that it's too expensive. We have done very extensive research, analysis, spoken to more than 6 experts that study energy markets. Renewable energy, clean, wind and solar, battery storage, those really are the cheapest forms of energy to generate. Now,
In Switzerland, everyone, including newborns, unemployed people, and even those who are homeless, must have health insurance. Some Swiss citizens complain about the cost, but the system ensures that everyone receives medical care when they need it. I feel that the Trump administration either misunderstands how health insurance works or assumes many US citizens don't understand it, which makes vague promises like getting a check misleading.
Are you stupid? Are you a stupid person?
My uncle had kidney cancer and passed away 3 years ago. His medication alone cost about 5,000 Swiss francs per month, around $6,200. A one-time check of $2,000 wouldn't have covered even a single month of treatment, and many therapies cost far more than that. From my perspective, the administration's approach is irresponsible and misleading, and many people around the world view it critically. All I ask is that you fact-check what comes from this government instead of repeating what you hear on TV.
It's not supposed to be one old man sitting in the Oval Office sending out middle-of-the-night tweets that shot markets into freefall. It's not supposed to be a bunch of 20-somethings unelected showing up at federal agencies and firing everyone. It's not supposed to be chaos and destruction. It's supposed to be good people elected by their neighbors with differing opinions coming together to negotiate in good faith.
Let me be honest with you. Besides being a software junkie since 1991, I've also been a polytoxicomaniac for over than 28 years. My question to you is, what does he tell you when him and the furring junkies start complaining about the current situation, the leadership and the political style? You should think about that. And let me tell you, do your homework better and listen to the people more. Thank you for your time. Chin chin, huh?
A glass of wine and a hand. I know she was gonna meet her connection. At her feet was a footloose man. Now you can't always get what you want. Now you can't always get what you want.
I mean, he's so blatantly stupid. He's a punk, he's a dog, he's a pig, he's a con, a bullshit artist, a mutt who doesn't know what he's talking about, doesn't do his homework, doesn't care, thinks he's gaming society, doesn't pay his taxes. He's an idiot. Colin Powell said it best. He's a national disaster. He's an embarrassment to this country. It makes me so angry that this country has gotten to this point, that this fool, this bozo, has wound up where he has. He talks how he wants to punch people in the face. Well, I'd like to punch him in the face. This is somebody that we want for president? I don't think so. What I care about is the direction of this country. And what I'm very, very worried about is that it might go in the wrong direction with someone like Donald Trump. If you care about your future, vote for it.